This is Sheshadri Kulkarni. Welcome to the Nosphere. In this video, we are going to know about the biographical prose of Sri Vinoba Bhave by Hallam Tennyson. Vinoba Narahari, also known as Vinoba Bhave, often called as Acharya, was a social reformer, freedom fighter. He is best known for the Bhudan movement. He led a simple and noble life. Vinoba Bhave was born on 11th September 1895 in the Orthodox Brahmin family in the small village Gagoji in Kolaba, Maharashtra to Narahari Shambhurao and Rama Devi. He was highly influenced by Mahatma Gandhiji. Bhudan movement, the land gift mission, started in 1951. This was a great revolution in the country which was started by Vinoba Bhave for the landless and poor farmers and peasants. With this movement, he was successful in providing lands to around 50 million landless farmers. These lands were the gifts he received from the landlords and distributed to the landless peasants. The rich voluntarily donated the land to Vinoba Bhave. It was the largest peaceful revolution in the history. Vinoba Bhave and his companions' mission started every day at 3:30 am. The author Hallam says, any morning at 4 o'clock, you can see Vinoba Bhave and his companions trudging, that is, walking slowly from village to village under a twilight sky. Behind them, there existed ox cart. It contained articles, typewriters, stationery, and filling cabinets. Cart was a mobile office of a mission, which in 2 years had collected no less than 1 million acres of land as free gifts for landless peasants. In between the miles of walking journey, Vinoba Bhave came across the miseries of villagers. His approach was very peaceful. He appealed to the landlords that if you have 4 sons and fifth was born, you would certainly give him a share of your land. Treat me as your fifth son and give me my share. It touched the imagination of the landlords. As the mission started in Hyderabad, in 2 months, Bhave received nearly 12,000 acres of land in trust of landless. When author met Vinoba Bhave, he lived in solitude in a village in central India. Vinoba Bhave, neither caring of heat and dust, sat spinning on the veranda of his mud hut. The author Hallam was awestruck by seeing his simple life. Vinoba Bhave was a brilliant scholar and mathematician. He would have enjoyed life, but he burnt all the certificates in spite of his mother's horrified protests and joined the Gandhian movement. Author Hallam, by seeing this, came to know about one thing that India honors: renunciation, sacrifice above all. Renunciation of worldly possession, that ideal finds its echo in every Hindu heart. Author also says he saw many industrial tycoons are still apt suddenly to throw up everything and retire to die in mud hut by the sacred Ganges. Vinoba had no possessions beyond a spinning wheel and a few homespun clothes. He declined the cars offered to him to move from village to village. He had a chronic duodenal fever and subject to dysentery, and when he was struck with the severe malaria, he refused to be treated with quinine medicine since the peasants could not afford it. Peasants and wealthy people, poor people, everyone looked Vinoba Bhave as a man of God. Vinoba Bhave known not less than 16 languages. At the age of 46, he learnt both Persian and Arabic. Vinoba has acquired his strength through renunciation, Tyag Manobhav, much as Bharat's ancient sages were supposed to acquire magical powers through their austerities. Vinoba Bhave's magic was singleness of purpose and his iron willpower. At the age of 10, he is said to have sworn a vow of chastity, brahmacharya. He vowed to wear no more than one garment at a time and to give up the salt. Someone asked Vinoba Bhave that if his work would succeed or not. He replied, "Fire merely burns. It does not care whether anyone puts a pot on it, fills it with water, and put rice in it to make a meal. To burn is the limit of its duty." Vinoba Bhave is careful to canalize the flood of emotions. He sets up a village committee to supervise the cultivation of the distributed land and to obtain seeds and implements from the government officials. From those receiving the land, he extracts a pledge that they will not resell it for 10 years. In the daily routine of mission, which ended at 8 p.m. usually, and an hour later the pilgrims retire to sleep, they have to move again at 3:30 a.m. the next morning. Vinoba Bhave is the embodiment of Bharat. In spite of his wide culture and learning, Westerners might find him less easy to approach than Mahatma Gandhi. Hallam says that my last glimpse of Vinoba was the same as my first. The author Hallam also says the 20th century may be rich in jet aeroplanes, but it is pretty poor in saints. We need to remember that what we call progress is nothing if it leads to no corresponding inner change. And Vinoba Bhave gives us a reminder in the one way which has power to move and impress by the example of a life and character utterly dedicated to the service of his fellows and the God he believes to be revealed in them. The great soul, saint of Bharat, eminent philosopher, left this world with his immortal teachings on 15th November 1982 at the age of 87. Vinoba Bhaveji always inspires millions. So friends, this was the information on biographical prose of Vinoba Bhave by Hallam Tennyson. Hope you loved this. Do like, share and subscribe the channel No Spear for more such interesting videos.